Yeah, it's just you and me, Bob T. We'll have a conversation for the next hour. You have nothing to say for yourself? Okay, that's okay. That's good. You're not going to be the only one here. Beautiful, beautiful day today. You can see I'm back by my pool. That is a constant battle to keep it clean, but that's uh, that's part of life, right? So, Bob T, hello, buddy. How are you? So far, there's just 8 people here, 4 with the thumbs up, but people are going to start pouring in, as we can see, as soon as it crosses the ocean. Allison BD, hello, hello, hello. Uh, yes, it's, I mean, Aunt BB2, hello, Supreme Commander. Thank you. Thank you for that title. I love that title. Twinkle Designs, Cheryl F. Hiya, Bill. Hiya, everyone. Manifest It with Jacqueline Johnston. Jacqueline Johnston is here. Good to see you, Jacqueline. Uh, Milwaukee Civilian. Hi, retired Detective Sergeant Bill. Milwaukee Civilian. Great to see you, Vicky Smith. Army Mum. And BB2, Marie Weiden. Hi from a sunny evening in Sweden. Wow. Svenska flicka. Sundog Mundog Testo Onsdag Tusta Frida. That's what I learned from my interactions. I learned the days of the week. We used to hang out with some Swedish nannies back in the day when I was a bartender, and they taught me the days of the week. That's about all I know, you know. But funny, yeah, I probably don't even pronounce it correctly. TG79, good to see you. Marie Weiden, good job. Not that good, but that's all I learned my whole life. Took 2 years of Spanish, and I'm a failure at that too. I wish where we worked up in Manhattan North, it was so advantageous to know how to speak Spanish. Manifested with Jacqueline Johnson. It's good to see you too. Love Sweden. It's beautiful there. Yeah, I haven't been, but my family has some relatives over there, and they go there. They also go to Norway and places like that. Pamela White. Good to see you. So it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Isn't that a U2 song? Wendy Kraft, hello, Sergeant Bill, and Police Off the Cuff. Shatters, yes, yes. Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage. Good show yesterday with Mike Geary. Mike Geary is so good. He's really so level-headed, so smart. And whenever I throw it to him, you know, when you're a host and you want someone to, you throw it to someone and you want them to speak for X amount of time, he's always great with that. He has no shortage of, Michael, good to see you, buddy. He has no shortage of things to say. So it's always a pleasure to have Professor Mike Geary on. Karen Breidenthal, I used to live in Sweden, loved it. Wow. ABBA, right? Talks to angels. She said she talks to angels. Wow. So many good people in the chat. 80 people in the chat, 27 with the thumbs up. Cheryl F., don't forget to hit that like button. It's free. That's right. It's free. So we're still growing, man. The channel's still growing, which I love. You know, it's a labor of love. I love doing this. Police Off the Cuff, real crime stories. Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage, bitching with Bill, whatever you guys want to call it. But this is fun. Like today, I didn't really want to go and do another show from the studio. I like being out in the yard and talking to you guys. Barbara Butcher said in her book, rejection is God's protection. Was that on my show or was that in her book? Everyone keeps writing me back and telling me how wonderful the book is. Yeah, I read the book in 3 days. And if you haven't picked that book up and read it, it's really unbelievable. It's Dr. Paul Dawson, Gilgo Beach Killer News, new books. I love when you come chat with us out here. It's so personal. Thank you, Wendy. It's good to see you. Good to see everyone. What a beautiful day, too. Good morning, Bill and everyone. Cheryl F., Wendy Kraft. Hiya, friends. Where are the Pranzos? The Pranzos are late. I don't see them yet. How much you want to bet they'll show up, though? I always love to see Lieutenant Pete and Richella Pranzo in the chat. You know, it's so nice to sit here and talk with you guys. And sometimes in your podcast show, she said, I quoted her to a young lady yesterday who got broken up. Wise words. That's very nice, Manifested. Very nice. It's sometimes you can get some words of wisdom from people, right? And if you keep them with you, that you can quote them, you know. Sometimes it's a great thing, you know. It was funny, my kids, there was a great, I posted it on Facebook, there was a great football player, and he has the same name as me. His name was Billy Cannon. And he won the Heisman in 1956, which is emblematic of the greatest player in college football. And his name, of course, is Billy Cannon. And he won it as a halfback. And then he came into pro football, and I think he was drafted, I know he played for the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think he was drafted by Los Angeles Rams. And he played halfback in pro football, and then he switched over to tight end with the Oakland Raiders. And I always used to tell kids when I was younger, oh, it's my uncle, Billy Cannon, the great Heisman Trophy winner. And then later on in life, after he retired from pro football, he became an orthodontist in the Louisiana area. And all the kids wanted to go to him because he was a retired pro football player. And apparently he had a booming practice. And then some point in his life, he got involved with the wrong people and he counterfeited money. And he went to prison. And he served his time and came out of prison. And I guess that sort of tainted his whole life. And he tried to build his practice back up as an orthodontist, and he wasn't successful. Milwaukee Pavilion, yeah, 1956, which was actually, Billy Cannon won the Heisman in 56. I was born in 1956, December. So it was right at the end of the year, almost 57. And as I said, as a kid, I used to tell other kids, oh yeah, he's my uncle, you know. And anyway, later in life, you know, he went to prison, got out, couldn't build his orthodontia business back up again, and he wound up working at the Louisiana State Prison as in charge of all their medical programs, because of course he was a dentist, and that's where he worked for the rest of his life. And just an interesting story, you know, what can happen to someone that had everything, you know, was a superstar athlete, became an orthodontist, and then made a poor decision and wound up going to prison, and then felt, I think, that he had to give something back to the prisoners. And so he started as a volunteer working at the prison, and then he wound up running all the medical programs. Yeah, great story, never given up. It's true, it's true. You know, sometimes people pay their penance in different ways. Pamela White, thank you for the $5 super sticker, much appreciated. So guys, I want to, of course, touch upon what we've been talking about forever. It seems like forever. The Rex Heuermann case, the Long Island serial killer case, and it's really such an interesting case. But it's still, so much of it now is in the unknown stage. You know, Wendy Kraft, Sergeant Bill, I'm a December birthday too. Sagittarius, yeah, I'm the end of December's Capricorn, right? So I'm a Sagittarius. Michael Allen, live a true Catholic life, avoid prison. Simple, yes. I think that's should be in everyone's everyone's goal is to avoid prison, to avoid jail, not even prison. Don't even go to jail. You won't have to worry about going to prison. All right, so you know, Rex Heuermann, this whole case is just baffling, and the story is baffling. And it goes back so many years, 2010 and 2007 for Amber Costello, I believe it was. Excuse me, she went missing in 2010. So many people from Long Island, of course, have been following this case for so long. And, you know, we spoke about it on the one show with Melanie, and Melanie got a little upset about that the police had this information 12, 13 years ago, and they did nothing with it. And yeah, that's true. They did have this information. And I would love to know, how did this information get hidden, you know, about the vehicle, the Chevy Avalanche, the fact that this huge man who was described as an ogre visited Amber Costello, that the witness, the boyfriend of Amber Costello, supposedly they used some ruse and chased him away and kept his money. That's what we referred to it. It was like a rip-off of the John. And so we were a little suspect about that. At least myself I was. And some people got upset about it. How could you call? Well, it was what it was. It was a rip. They devised this ruse to rip him off, and they did. And then, of course, he came back a night or two later, and that's when Amber Costello went missing. Mystique, the bucket, love, great photo, full of amazing people. Mystique, welcome. Thank you so much for being a YouTube channel member of the Police Off the Cuff family, friends, subscribers, right? It's very much appreciated. Growing the channel is never easy, you know. It's like you got to sort of take chances, you know, do things out of your comfort zone. Missy Joe Allen, thank you for the $2 super sticker. Love all your podcasts. They're the best. Missy Joe Allen, thank you so much. That's very nice of you. I mean, when you look behind me, isn't that a beautiful sight? I think I should jump in the pool today. I'm not like, I don't know, I don't go in the pool that much. I went to the gym today. I did my workout. I did chest and triceps. And then I did 45 minutes on the pre-core, you know, so get my heart engaged, you know, as they say. Agati, good to see you, Agati. Manifest with Jacqueline, Bluish You. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. You need to repair your fence. I'm showing too much. I can't see how's my fence. I don't know if it needs to be repaired. What are you looking at? Maybe it does. Maybe you're seeing a part. Grain, 1 month, sending love. We need more love in this world. Grain, thank you so much. And thank you for being a YouTube channel member. We do need love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing, that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. I pulled that song out of the hat. Where the hell did that come from? Bob T, sing it, Bill. So I think I saw something today. Quickly, I didn't go through everything on YouTube, that Rex Heuermann's wife, Asa, I believe her first name is Asa, spoke to him on the phone from jail. Could you imagine that now? Could you imagine her now, after she knows what he's been accused of, that she spoke to him on the phone? And of course, we all know that she immediately filed for divorce once she heard about what had occurred. Manifest it with Jacqueline Johnston. Love it, love it, love it. That song is true for these times. Yes, Thunder Jose. Pauline Buckles. Hello, Bill and guys. Good to see you, Pauline. Good to see all the Police Off the Cuff YouTube family out here. I like to sometimes do these relaxing shows where there's not as much stress. I don't need as much concentration. I don't need to do as much research. I get to talk to you guys, get to have a nice, friendly conversation. And so yeah, I think Duty Ron told me he's going to do a show tonight he's got this guy who invented the wetback machine that collects DNA and is able to, Bob T, Bill, you and Mel, you're okay, right? Yes, we're friends. We made up. We're still friends. I would never not be friends with her over that. Yeah, you see, look, you can, when you have family members, you get mad at them or disagree with them. Yeah. Did I disagree with Melanie? Yes. And it's not that she did what her heart told her to do. It just wasn't what my heart was telling her to do. So, yes, it's okay. We're friends. Melanie and I, we're all good. Michelle Lipscomb checking in from Alabama. Anna Marie Golden, thank you for the $5 super. I can't concentrate on what you're saying with that pool behind you. Looks refreshing. Yeah, it is refreshing. It's really a beautiful pool that, you know, anyone that owns a pool knows it takes tons of work though, right? And thank the Lord, I don't do it. We hire a pool guy that comes twice a week in the morning, and he's the one that keeps the water sparkling, the chemicals right, and the water filter system going. And I wish I could say I was the one that does it, but I'm not. Cheryl F. Taurus. Legal minded, there's Karen. Can't remember who said it, but better not to focus on the mistakes in the past until RH is convicted, then if there are process issues, deal with them. Karen Cole, Legal-Minded Friends. Thank you, Karen, for everything you do. She's a great moderator, great friend. She always talks to me about things, and I appreciate her. I don't see Kim Alliston today. Maybe she's busy today. She's on the other. No, I don't listen to the Morbid podcast, Jacqueline Johnston Manifest. I don't. I don't listen to really any other podcasts. And if I do listen, I might listen for 5 or 10 minutes. Because I have so much work to do on my own, and so I don't really listen to other ones. I'm an Aquarian, Bill. My parents were both Tauruses. Cheryl F. Lotta, hello, Bill. Hello, how are you? Schmitty, good day. Sergeant Bill and Carrick. Schmitty, so good to see you. Daytime, nighttime, you're always around. You're always in the chat. Thank you so much for being such a police off-the-cuff, real crime stories friend, family, chatter. Thank you. Wendy Kraft, good Mystique. Cheryl F. So, the other day, Tuesday, when they had the court appearance, which was all of 8 minutes, what was really covered in that court appearance? Basically, I find it hard to listen to views that are not balanced. Karen, yeah, something, a lot of people that are content creators on YouTube, many people have excellent credentials, and then there's people that have no credentials, and they're talking outside their lane. I don't think I could really talk about this stuff if I didn't have the background I have. What credibility would I have if I was diving deep into this stuff and I had no background in it? It would be pretty tough to do, I think. And thus there's a lot of people out there in YouTube land that are all part of that, that don't have the credentials, but yet talk with great authority on this case. And Tweety US News, that pool is perfect. Your pool guru does a great job. My pool guy, he gets paid. He's not just a guru that shows up, but that's good. It's not easy to get a good pool person that does a great job, So we were talking also about the evidence in this case, and so much of the evidence, much like, and I know a lot of you guys followed Alec Murdaugh, and we talk about how important the electronic and the digital evidence was. And there's been people in the journalism field, the journalism area, writing about how, I'm not comfortable. Bluish U, I'm grateful for the NYPD. God bless the best police department in the world. Well, thank you so much. That's very much appreciated. I think the truth is that the NYPD is the best police department in the world. And almost every police department on this earth emulates, copies what the NYPD does. The NYPD tries it out first, and other police departments, there's some excellent police departments out there too, right? Is the LAPD as good as the NYPD? No, I don't think so. But are they good though? Yeah, absolutely. Chicago PD, they got to be good, right? They got so much crime out there. How about Miami? Guaranteed Miami is excellent. They're so busy too. And how do you get good at something? Practice. And unfortunately, Carol Grayson, good to see you. When there's a lot of crime, you get a lot of practice, Legal-Minded Friends, Karen Cole wants to dive in my pool from England. I don't know if you got a powerful enough diving board to cross the pond and jump into the pool, but you're welcome to dive in. So yes, the digital evidence in this case, and included in that, I hit those 50 laps, sunset gazing, thinks I'm going to swim. I went to the gym already. I did my exercise for the day. When you do your exercise for the day, you feel good. Teresa, thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. Much appreciated. Love the heart. Thank you so much. Very much, very much appreciated. sometimes it gets a little bit stressful doing this show because you really got to be on top of it. And when this case first broke, when the arrest first broke, I went on 3 times that day. That was a lot of talking, a lot of work, a lot of research. And then it helps me when I do have a co-host, like Phil Grimaldi, like Mike Geary, like Melanie Little. Erica, that's my name too. I got a K and a C in my name. Schmitty, I can't ride my bike till after work. Has a great effect. I sleep really well. Elisa Krogan, good to see you. Yeah, folks, if you're talking about exercise, you got to exercise at least, you try to do it every day, but if you can't do it every day, you got to do it 4 to 5 times a week. And I know people that work, they commute. It's tough sometimes to fit exercise in there. Then give up your lunch hour at work and work out on your lunch hour and just chug down a sandwich or something while you're working, Use that time to stay in shape. Invigorating, it's so important, Now we're talking about everyone, of course, we always mention when we do this case, the victims of this case. And of course we talk about the Gilgo 4. And that is who they're working on, of course. And it was Melissa Bartolome, Amber Costello, Megan Waterman, and those are the cases that they've already got indictments on. They're moving forward on. They have solid evidence, and again, people talk about circumstantial evidence for which inferences are drawn. It's not powerful. It's powerful evidence. The evidence they have is powerful evidence, right? And then, of course, the 4th, Maureen Brainerd Barnes. That's a case that they will be bringing. They will be getting an indictment on that case soon. They just don't have enough right now to, we call it, pull the trigger on the case. But there is no rush for the police to do that. You know why? Because Rex Heuermann is not going anywhere. He's going to be held in Suffolk County Jail in Riverhead, Long Island, till this case goes to trial and until he gets convicted or acquitted. Well, I don't see an acquittal, but even some of the other evidence they have, that if they had no other case with the murders, he would be going to prison for at least 5 years based on the stuff that the child porn he has on his computer, Well, if he was a first timer and there was no other charges, he would probably take 5 years probation, but that's a felony. And that sort of, when we talk about that and we talk about some of the things that they found on his computer, some of the things that they searched on his computer, it just shows what his state of mind is, what he's all about. And that's concerning in itself also, because it's not like he was just picked out of the phone book and they said, oh, this is our guy. If you go to page 18 of the bail application, there's like 26 things he searched. Mistress, Long Island. Mature escorts, Manhattan. Girl begging for rape porn. Teen girl begging for rape porn. Pretty girl with bruised face porn. Torture redhead porn. 10-year-old schoolgirl. I don't even want to, some of it's obscene in itself, but just, does that say, legal-minded friends, Karen Cole? You're an attorney. Does that say anything about state of mind? Does that say anything about his psyche? Does that say anything about who Rex Heuermann is? That he's searching child porn on the computer? Bluish Shoe, thanks for the $2 super stick. I hope he doesn't try and commit suicide. I don't see him doing that. I know Rex Heuermann knows who he is. And he's probably comfortable in his own perverted skin. Now, what he doesn't like is it's out there to the public and the world who Rex Heuermann is. He was able to keep this dual life for a long time. Guess what? That dual life thing is now over. Everyone knows this devious, psychopathic, sadistic, sexual killer, who he is. It's out there now, right? He can't hide behind Rex Heuermann, male white, age 59, lives in Massapequa Park with his wife and his 2 grown children. Architect, has his own company in Manhattan. All of that stuff is gone now. Now he's Rex Heuermann, the Long Island serial killer, accused Long Island serial killer, right? But when people, even on this case, when you say Rex Heuermann, the Long Island serial killer, not as many people are as quick to say accused, because guess what? They're showing evidence, like I just discussed with you guys, on his computer that shows you who he is, who he is. And how about even the fact we talked about on the show last night with Mike Geary, how criminals, Rex Heuermann is too narcissistic and in love with himself. Yes, we had a guy convicted sharing cartoon sex, and he got 9 years, Karen, from Legal-Minded Friends. Wow. Pauline Buckles, thank you so much. But we talked about last night, myself and Mike Geary, how criminals, we called it countermeasures, how they try to counter what the police are doing, and how they want to predict, or they research the investigation that the police were doing. And that was true in this case. Rex Heuermann was researching. Eliza Krogan, I don't think his wife was involved, but I bet she knew something was off with him. Eliza, I agree with you 100%, and I said it numerous times on the show. Look, there's no way on this earth that Rex Heuermann was a normal family guy at home and living that second life. So what do we mean when we say normal guy? Well, I think there was a level of abuse to his family. And the only ones that could tell us that are his family members. Look, I think, and people will kill me for this, but I don't care, because I'm going to say what I really believe. Michael Allen, so NSA that records every keystroke, every text, phone call, credit card transaction. Well, something, part of living in this world, this day, the modern world, to have modern conveniences, we put ourselves out there. Is there anyone listening today that doesn't have a cell phone? Obviously not, right? Is there anyone out there in cyber world that doesn't have a computer, doesn't have a laptop? Yeah, legal-minded friends, there's whole units, that computer crime units in almost every jurisdiction that monitor sex offenders who search child porn, and they actually set up stings. They'll actually call them, like you saw on that show that used to be on TV with Chris Hansen, when he'd always show up at the end and say, "Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen," and then they'd be like, "Oh no, I just came here to have pizza." Yeah, sure you did, Dateline, right? Dateline, NBC. I don't know. I don't think that show is still on, but it was creepy, right? It was pretty creepy, and probably every jurisdiction, every district attorney's office, manifested with Jacqueline Johnson. I'm on my cell watching this show. So back to that, we give up freedom for convenience. Isn't that true? How? Everyone here, obviously can't answer, but Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We give up our freedom. Bluish You, I love that show. We give up our freedom to convenience. How many of us shop online? Probably all of us, right? Rather than go to a store, you just go on Amazon, you order what you want, it's delivered to your doorstep, right? Does that come with a price? Yeah. How do you pay for it? You put your credit card. on the air, right? Does that seem, Pablo Cicada, great impression of Chris Hansen. I don't know about that, but that's how he sounds. He sounds very nasalish, right? Thunder Horse, good to see you. So yeah, so you put your credit card to pay for it online. Does that put you out there, right? If you're on Facebook, you photograph, you have a Facebook page. Same thing with Instagram. You put your stuff out there, right? And what happens with these sites? They sell your information to advertisers. Facebook has been caught doing this. They would deny it. They sell your information. How about you may search something on the computer, and what happens? You immediately start getting advertisements for the very thing you've just been searching, right? Michael Sargent, I retired 2 years ago. Prosecutors reminded me of from time to time that defense attorneys searching on social media. Yeah, Tweety U.S. News, yes, we give up our privacy when we search online. But it's, is there anyone willing to give up the convenience of being online, of searching, of shopping, of being able to use their phone as a computer? GPS. Is there anyone here that doesn't use GPS to find where the hell they're going? Bruno, Bill, how many years on the job? I did almost 27 years. I always say 27 years. I rounded off. So I almost did. And then I taught college when I retired in October 31st, 2011. I taught college for 5.5 years after that. And I had taught already for over 5 years. I taught 10.5 years at a college. So when I retired, I took a full-time job teaching criminal justice at a college. Legal-minded friends, laugh out loud. Me, I use GPS to get to my daughter's house. I use GPS, and one of the reasons you use a app called Waze is not only does it give you directions, it tells you where the speed cameras are, the red light cameras, the police speed traps. So all of those things. So it's a great thing, right? A great convenience. Now you don't get caught by a red light camera. Now you don't get caught in a speed trap, you know, because these days a computer catches you in a speed trap, right? Matt Wickard, how are you, buddy? Waze is good, yeah. Professor Cannon, Manifested with Jacqueline Johnson. Yeah, I used to tell that story. I think I told it with Barbara Butcher, that I would be in Harlem, and I taught a lot of inner city kids. I would be in Harlem standing inside a crime scene with a dead body on the ground. And from outside the crime scene tape, someone would yell, "Hey, Professor Cannon!" And I would turn and be one of my students. Said I used to find that funny, hilarious, that I was wearing a different hat. I was wearing my detective sergeant hat, and one of my students lived up there and was standing outside a homicide crime scene and screamed out my name to me. My professor name, yeah. So, and sometimes I would go on jobs or investigations and I would run into students. We had all those police beepers back in the day in our cars. Left out was the night. Yeah, I used to have well, isn't that when you think of how antiquated beepers were, right? For someone to get a hold of you, and this was pre-cell phone. So we would get beeped and we would have to pull over to a payphone, and we would use the police department's SPIN number to put the call through so we wouldn't have to put change in it. Manifested with Jacqueline Johnson. Yeah, so we would have to pull over to the side of the road, put the SPIN number in and call back the number. And that's how we would get contacted. You talk about pretty antiquated, right? Now everyone's got a damn cell phone. You can reach anyone in real time, immediately, right? Immediately. And that was great for police work too. You don't know how many times detectives were going to call and say, "Hey, Shorty, the guy you're looking for is on 110th Street in Lexington right now. He's standing on the corner." Beautiful. The detectives would just go out there and boom, grab Shorty. And what a tool it was, you know. And before it was like, oh, call the precinct, and then you don't know who would answer the phone. The phone could ring a million times. No, the beeper told us police were nearby. Oh, okay. So that you were using it for something else. But we were, best thing ever made, smartphones. Yeah. Look, and a lot of you husbands and wives out there, you might not like it because you're on your way home from work and, oh, could you pick up milk, bread, eggs? And you're like, oh, I didn't need that call. I wanted to just go the hell home, you know. But it's the access to the person is unbelievable, right? Carmelita, Carmelita, dance a little louder. Rosalita, stand right by my side. Carmelita, good to see you. Love your name. I always say that. I love your name. Tweety U.S. News. Yeah, we still have our landline at home, but it's not. We don't plug it in. But say you have an emergency, and your phones go down. I just want to be able to have the access. Thank you, Carmelita. I love you too. Erica, Carmelita is a great name, right? And actually the Bruce Springsteen song is Rosalita, right? But I can just substitute Carmelita, her name in it. And I don't know all the words, but I always sing a bar or two for her. Eliza Krogan, I hate that. You know something? You'll go into the city and people will be talking out loud and you go, is this person crazy? And then you realize they have the little earbuds in and they're having a full-blown conversation with someone while they're walking down the street. That can't be good for your concentration. It can't be good for living in the moment. Like, you can't live in the moment if you're always on your damn phone, right? Get off your phone when you're walking down the street, you know? I was going to name my fourth child Carmelita, but I had a boy, Mary Lynn Minetta. Beautiful name, Carmelita, right? Yeah, I think that, oh, you know what's the craziest thing? Springsteen is the boss, manifest with Jacqueline Johnson. You know what's crazy now? A lot of the college kids, of course, are home and they're at the gym. Kids of this generation, they can't put their phone in the locker for the duration of their workout. They have to always be on their phone. Thank you. And I find that crazy. Put your phone in your locker. And they're texting all during their workout. Is that crazy? Or am I crazy? I think that you shouldn't always have to be on your phone. You can't do an hour workout or an hour 15 workout and leave your phone in the locker. Are you afraid you were the CEO of some corporation that you need to have 24/7 every single second access to you? I think you can go do a workout and leave your phone in your damn locker, you know? Char, how are you? So, you know, but I think kids, I guess you'd call them millennials, Generation Z, whatever the hell they call them, they can't put their damn phone down. And I love the technique. I can't do that. I don't know how they do the two thumbs. And they're lightning texters. I'm like a real texter and I make a million mistakes. But I see you guys that have that technique down with the two thumbs. I'm just like, whoa. Manifest it with Jacqueline Johnson. I can't text and walk. Yeah, it's pretty hard to do, you know. And how about worrying about traffic? Crossing the street as you're texting. And I remember when I was still on the job, I was in an unmarked car and I was up by Columbia University. And this Asian girl's crossing the street totally with her head buried in the phone and against the light. I hit her with the old whoop, 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 whoop. She practically jumped right out of her pants. She got so nervous, you know. But at least I gave her the whoop, whoop, whoop and not some car running her over because she totally was crossing the street against traffic and was not looking, you know. I honk for cell phone users. Yeah, get off your damn phone. Generation X. They call. I guess I would be considered a baby boomer, right? That's what they called my generation, the baby boomers. And now all the baby boomers were all getting old or older. I don't want to say old, you know. Talia, my mom makes fun of my texting, but I still read books, actual paper books. That's great. I think that everyone should read books because it keeps your brain occupied, or play an instrument, right? Play the piano, read books, learn something new. keep your brain learning new things all the time. 267 in the chat, 156 with the thumbs up. This is Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories, Backyard Beverage, Coffee with Cannon. It's a great day today. It's Thursday, right? Thursday, August 3rd. Can you guys believe it's August 3rd? What happened to the summer? I'm not going to wish the summer away, but wow, we're in the last months. Erica Olson, 66, Generation X, I think. Marilyn Monetta, I play the piano and love reading. It keeps your brain going, right? Because when people get older, if they don't use their brain power by learning new things or reading. Carly, baby boomers were born between 46 and 64. Then I am a baby boomer. Yep, baby boomer. That was the folks coming home from World War II, Korea, Vietnam War, right? 66 to 80. No one used to ride a bike while reading a book. Pauline Buckles wants an endless summer. Well, guys, I'm going back to Florida for the winter at the end of October. I'm going to leave here and I'm going back to Florida, back to Jupiter, Florida. You guys saw some of the beauty of Jupiter, Florida. Amazing. I love it there. So I'm going to spend the winter there again. And actually, we may, as a whole family, be spending Thanksgiving in Florida. And I would love that because we always used to host Thanksgiving at our house. And it was so much work. If you have 25, 30 people over your house for Thanksgiving, you're talking that it's like at least a week work because you got to prep before the people get there. And then it stopped being fun. When we must have hosted Thanksgiving, I don't know, 20, 25 times. Every year we hosted it. And now we're done hosting Thanksgiving. No more. Anyone else here know what I'm talking about? Hosting Thanksgiving? Well, you guys from across the pond, I don't think you celebrate Thanksgiving, right? It's definitely an American holiday. But I always loved Thanksgiving, you know? The turkey, the stuffing, the great food, all the people. Carmelita's the host. It's a ton of work, right? And after a while, you're like, all right, no more. We're not hosting it anymore. And that's where we've reached in our life. No more hosting Thanksgiving. Now, we'll go away. I'll go to a restaurant if I have to avoid all of that work. Liza Krogan, me too, love turkey. You know, my favorite thing about Thanksgiving, and how do we get off of Rex Heuermann, we're talking about Thanksgiving, is after you put all the food away and later on, you have a white meat turkey, stuffing, cranberry, and mayonnaise sandwich. Oh, that is the best. That is better than Thanksgiving. White meat, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and some mayo on the top. That to me is the best part of Thanksgiving. Anyone else agree? Anyone else like that part the best? No, but I was in the U.S. on Thanksgiving. A lot of food, really nice. One year we were in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I hope I said that correctly. And it was around Thanksgiving. I don't know if it was on Thanksgiving, but they didn't have turkey in Edinburgh, at least in November. So we had, I think we had prime rib instead, which was amazing. And we had dinner at the Preston Field House, which was this old castle. And it was incredible. And I was like, wow, I'll go here for Thanksgiving every year and not have to do all that work. Even if they don't have turkey, I'll have prime rib. That's okay with me. Philly Girl, Thanksgiving celebrates when we left England. You can buy that turkey stuffing cranberry sandwich at Marks and Spencer's. Delicious. That's the best. That's the best. Ingrid Jobst, I'm from Netherlands. We don't have Thanksgiving. So you guys got to come to the U.S. to have Thanksgiving, you know? And it's a holiday basically celebrated that when the Pilgrims came to the United States. And, you know, I don't know if it's sort of based on fiction, but that's what it commemorates. Manifest It with Jacqueline. We eat Italian. Italian food is never a bad time to eat Italian food. I love Italian food, my favorite food. But somehow I don't think it totally mixes with turkey and stuffing and all mashed potatoes. It's so heavy. Where is the room for the Italian food? You need a lot of room in your stomach just for the Italian food, right? So guys, what I was talking about before I got talking about food, is everyone getting hungry now? Yeah, I feel like I'm starving. That's our day to turn in Christmas list. Teresa. So yeah, we were talking about Rex Heuermann and the countermeasures and how he was watching what the police were doing. Karen's gonna make stuffing tonight. Oh man. And he has, on page 19, it showed what he was searching in regards to the police investigation on the Gilgo Beach case. Why could law enforcement not trace the calls made by the Long Island serial killer? That's one of the things he traced. Why hasn't the Long Island serial killer been caught? Long Island killer, Long Island serial killer phone call, Long Island serial killer update, Long Island serial killer update 2022. So he had been on top of this, searching all the time what the police had been doing. John Bitroff, Megan Waterman, Melissa Bartolome, Maureen Brainerd Barnes. He was searching all of these names on his computer. Cops launched Gilgo Beach Homicide Investigation Task Force. So you know he was interested in that. Bill, we live a block away from him. My wife Cassandra, oh, that's a shame. A block away from Rex Heuermann. I know that Massapequa is a beautiful area. You don't want to hear something funny. Well, it's not really that funny. I was at a restaurant out in Montauk over the weekend, Friday and Saturday. And Friday night we went to this restaurant called Harvest. And guess who was there? Billy Baldwin. Billy Baldwin was from Massapequa Park, Long Island. He was in Rex Heuermann's class when he was in high school. And he was there with his wife, I forget her name, Phillips. She was part of that group, Wilson Phillips. And they were at the restaurant. I was like, wow, how timely is this that a classmate of Rex Heuermann is out at the same restaurant I'm out in Montauk. And then I saw his wife has a podcast, and they were talking about it. Matt Wickard went to Burner High School. Look, Matt, Massapequa is a beautiful, beautiful area. I mean, gorgeous. China Phillips, right. Massapequa is beautiful. A little more, I grew up in Levittown, a little bit more affluent than Levittown, and but a beautiful area, and part of it is on the water, you know. The rich Massapequaans live on the water. Burner High School, Massapequa High School, great town, right? So will the Rex Heuermann Association kill Massapequa? I don't think so. No more than Ronald DeFeo, who was the killer in the Amityville Horror, destroyed Amityville. He didn't, but that could have, right? The Amityville Horror, Ronald DeFeo killed his family in that house. 17,000 in the village of Massapequa Park. Wow. Someone just put, I hope he doesn't try and commit suicide. I don't think, you know, a serial killer is going to try to commit suicide. I think he knows who he is. He looked pretty angry, the picture that I saw of him in court the other day. He looked like an angry serial killer, you know. Yeah, Massapequa Park is a beautiful neighborhood. You hear these birds? Maybe the birds is telling me, end your show, Sergeant Bill. You're infringing upon the backyard here. Guys, I'm at 49 minutes. I actually have 1 minute left. I usually do 50 minutes. And Mary Jane Garvin, my cousin, was a classmate too. Her mom was friends with Carol Bolden. Their mom, she went to Billy's wedding. Wow. Small town, right? Jerry Seinfeld grew up in Massapequa too. So a lot of big names. Alec Baldwin built the whole Baldwin family. I don't know how many Baldwins there were. There was a bunch of them, right? And the father was I think a social studies teacher, and he was the wrestling coach. So, big family. That was common back then. Levittown, I was one of 8 kids. Third oldest of 8 kids. Thomas Jordan, good to see you, buddy. Guys, it's sort of time to say goodbye. I got like 10 seconds left. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll be back up. I'm probably going to take the weekend off. I'm going away for the weekend again. Thank you again for joining me. Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories, Backyard Beverage, Bitchin' with Bill, Coffee with Cannon. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you soon.